What's good, Smooth Family? It's your boy Be Smooth. If you can't be smooth, you gotta move. And this is SmoothTalk. Man, last week was something.
Yes, it was, man.
It was something. Y'all went crazy on that topic. But for today's topic, it is pretty much, it's okay to not be okay. And, a lot of people tend to pretend that they're okay and they don't want to, talk about it as much. And we just here to, shine some light on that. So, let's dive into it. If y'all have any questions and stuff like that, feel free to, hop on here, comment, or if you feel like hopping in on the live, then go ahead.
And you can come in at any time. You got any questions, feel free to ask.
Right.
Because I'm going to mess some folks up early, right quick. Especially a lot of church folks. A lot of times we get everything mixed up because you're strong does not mean you're okay.
Right.
Just because you're strong does not mean that you're okay. You can be the strongest person in the world that can deal with a lot of stuff, but that still don't mean you're okay because something's going on up here.
Yeah.
And in here sometime. So don't get the two mixed up.
Exactly.
Don't get them mixed up.
Because we tend to get that mixed up with a lot. But one of the questions that I have for you guys, but also for you, how do you know that you're not okay?
My whole day would be off. A lot of things that I do would be off. I'm not thinking right. I'm not doing things right. It just seems like nothing is coming together to line up like it used to be.
Right.
Sometimes mentally, you're off. You're not okay then.
Okay then. I know for me, it's like you said, you feel off and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't know, it's like you have an attitude. And it's not like you purposely, just having that attitude towards people, or it's just like the slightest thing just aggravates you for some reason. And, you can feel off, whether that be, you start feeling sick, or you just not thinking clear and stuff like that. So, there's many signs and ways to know that you're not okay. But, I know, also for me, dealing with sickle cell, another way for me to, know that I'm not okay is just, if I start laying around all the time, and, even though sickle cell do play a factor in that, but it's a difference for me feeling fatigued and me just, not being okay and something is wrong with me. Because I'd be laying around and I wouldn't even want to get up out of bed, wouldn't want to do anything, just lay there.
Yeah.
And, people will notice that something's wrong with you, and then, we tend to just be like, yeah, I'm fine, or whatever the case may be, but it's like, you're not okay. Because if you were, you wouldn't be acting the way you are. And, don't ever be afraid to, discuss with someone about what you got going on and stuff like that. So, another question that I have is, when do you tell someone that you're not okay?
Sometimes we tend to wait. We wait until it's almost don't beat us down. We should really open up and start talking. As soon as stuff start going on in our lives, we should start talking then. But a lot of times, as a man, a lot of times they have taught the men to suck it up.
Yeah.
And don't talk. But that was some wrong teaching. But in that time, that's what that has been taught to them. But see, then you have to break that cycle, because it's best for us to talk before we explode. And that's a bad time when we explode, because really you don't know what you're going to do. You can hurt somebody in all that. You can hurt somebody, really hurt them. Physically. Not only just physically, mentally. Verbal abuse.
Yeah.
because you're gonna talk down to them.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that go through verbal abuse when it comes to that. Because like you said, for some reason we tend to wait till the last minute, and then we want to tell someone that we're not okay. When in reality, we should just I get it. It can be uncomfortable, and you're not used to communicating and things of that nature. And you may not want to talk to anybody about it, but it's you really do have to open up, because you don't want to get to that point to last minute, and then you explode, and the next thing you know, you just going off on everybody to where you're hurting them mentally and emotionally, and some people physically, just depending on depending on the situation and stuff like that. Because even I've had people come to me and it'd be last minute, because I'll ask them if they're okay, and I'm that type of person that I don't look at it like an issue as much, but that's just how I am. I will constantly ask if you're okay, and that's just me. And I know there's some people out there like that, but it got to the point where, I stopped asking because I didn't want to, bother that person. But then it got to the point where that person just exploded and just started going off on me. And it was I didn't do anything to you. I was just trying to make sure you're okay. And, I noticed the signs that you weren't okay, but like I said, some people aren't comfortable with talking about whatever they may be, going through, or they just don't know how to start the conversation off and be open about it. So, for them to go off like they did or whatever, it really messes with you, because you just start to sit back and be dang, you start questioning yourself pretty much. Did I do something wrong or anything like that? And majority of the time, it don't really be you. It be something that they got going on. They just don't know how to express it to you.
Like Marlo Crawford said, well, the reason why people wait is because they don't trust anyone with their problem. And that's true.
Yeah.
Some people, you can tell somebody something, and then before you know it, the whole family, the whole entire community know about your business. And that's why some people don't talk.
Yeah.
And so they keep it balled up inside, and then they mess around and explode. Because they got all that, and it's a bunch of stress and depression built up on that one person. They don't have nobody to go talk to. They don't have no scapegoat. So guess what they do? They just okay, this is what I'm going to do. Basically, I ain't telling nobody. I'm just going to shut it down.
Yeah, just shut everybody out, and, they just don't communicate at all, and they just start, pretty much isolating themselves. And then you have the ones that, when you do tell them, whatever you got going on, pretty much they hold that over your head, or they throw everything you basically told them in your face, and they start judging you and stuff like that. And it's we really have no place to be judging anyone, because, we all go through something. And like I said before in the last live, that, everyone's going through something, but, people have better ways of hiding it than the next person.
Yeah, it's easy to hide. It's more easy to hide than to talk about it with someone. It's especially in family. If you can't go talk to family, then it's sad that a friend is better and closer than a family member. That's sad. Mm-hmm. That is sad. Even the Bible talks about that. Right. But it's sad that it's like that, though. And to help someone, we got to be able to talk, be able to have that open ear and that open mind, that we won't look at them any different if they start talking about what they're dealing with. Because some people are dealing with some deep, dark stuff. They're dealing with some deep, dark stuff. And they can't tell no one about it because they don't know who to trust to tell somebody about that.
Exactly. And it's just, you got those type of people that would just take whatever you told them and just run with it and just start telling everybody. And then you have the ones that they'll switch up exactly what you just said and start adding in, different types of information. That's just like with a lie or whatever. If I was to come up with a lie right now and I was to go tell somebody or whatever, it'll go to the next person and they'll leave some things out, or they'll just like start adding in something that I never said, and then somehow that end up getting right back to me, but it won't be the full, truth and stuff like that. And then you'll start, looking back like, I thought I could trust you with this information, because I'm going through something, and you was the person that I could come to, and all I wanted to do was just, tell you about it. And I, thought I could trust you, but you basically lost that trust from that person.
Yes. You've basically lost that trust. And trust is a number one key thing. Everybody don't trust everybody.
Yeah.
Parents, please, parents, open up your doors, your mind and your ears, your heart to listen to your children. Even if it's not your children, listen to them. They're not coming to you just to come to you to tell you something, some latest gossip. Their gossip is talking about themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
Do not ruin that moment for them. Because sometimes when they come to talk to you, they're looking for you for that scapegoat. And if you don't have the time to talk to them, guess what they're going to do?
They're going to go to the next person.
They're going to go to the next person. And that next person will take advantage of that.
Yeah. Either they go to the next person, or they start turning to drugs or whatever they can to cope. They start turning towards that. We have to learn it's okay not to be okay, because we are human. If a person holds things in, it will destroy the mentality. And it will. It will destroy, your mental state and stuff like that, because, we all go through it, even myself, because there was times where, I was going through some stuff, and, I prayed about it, and I had to, like, talk to him about it, because I noticed that it was playing, it was affecting me mentally, to where I started feeling unwell mentally, emotionally and physically. And like I said before, and if anybody on here has sickle cell or just any condition at all, or even if you don't have one, you notice that you start to feel unwell when you're not okay mentally. And it's just like, we're human, so even myself, y'all know me as like a positive person and stuff like that, but I'm not always, this happy, joyful person every day, because I go through stuff just as much as the next person. But the difference is I look at whatever situation I'm going through, and I try to find the positive out of it. I try to see what I can learn from it, and how can I grow from it, and stuff like that. And then that's when I start back smiling, because if you just, dwell on that mental state, and you just think that, oh, I'm not going to be okay. Plus, you speaking into existence. So if you keep saying that I'm not okay, and you're doing things like, listening to sad music all the time and doing depressing things, then you're going to stay in that state. Because it's like, a lot of people don't like to hear it, but, that is kind of a choice of how, your mood goes. And plus, if you give people the power to mess up your mood, then you need to just self-evaluate and start thinking about like a whole bunch of different types of things when it comes to that.
Yes, listen to a lot of depressing music. They dress a certain way. Yeah. They talk a certain way. They're doing things out of the ordinary. That's why you're always supposed to pay attention. Mm-hmm. Always. This other saying that I have, be aware of your unawares. I got that from Pastor. And that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do.
Right. She said, listen, make it conducive for one to talk without judging. Just listen. That's all may need the moment event. Yeah, I mean, we all need that, type of person we can go to talk to someone. Like, we all need it. And, it's all about, making time and the effort and stuff like that. And you know, whether you have a friend or a relative or whoever, or even if it's just talking to God, it's like, that's fine for the simple fact, like, you need to vent to someone, but make sure it's someone that you actually trust that won't judge you and, you know, won't try to, you know, spread that information about you or like rumors and gossip about you and stuff like that. Because even myself, I've been through that to where, you know, some people I've vented to and, you know, they were there, they helped me. Then you have the ones that just took the information I gave them and ran with it. And then next thing you know, it goes back to him or, you know, my mom or whoever. Next thing you know, I'm getting a call and it'd be some things that I didn't even say. So you have to be careful with that too, because that can actually mess with that person's mental state to where they're not okay even more for the simple fact because you basically just like lied or whatever you did to them, you just made it worse for them.
The reason I'm looking at my phone because I'm having some problems on my page. I just got a text about my page, so I hope they can see it clearly now or see it on my page now. But that's true. That's true. And I'm sorry if y'all missed the first part of it. You know, you can go to my son page and look at the first part of it. But we're talking about it's okay not to be okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. You know?
Keisha said, don't let others control your feelings and your emotions.
Oh, right there, Keisha. Right there.
That's the one.
Right there. Don't let them.
You never give nobody that power to have that control over you.
No.
You never do that because once they find out that they have the power to do that, it's just going to keep, you know, continuing. Even if you don't give them the power, it'll continue for a while, but then they'll look at it like, dang, I'm not, you know, I keep doing this and it's not really bothering them like I want it to or whatever. You know what, let me just stop messing with them. And sometimes it be the case, sometimes it don't. It just depends, but you never let anybody like get under your skin and just mess up your whole day. And I've seen it happen to many people, including myself, you know,
right.
Back then.
You never allow no one to control. Never allow no one to control you anyway.
Right.
If you feel like somebody, you get into a relationship, y'all looking at marriage or something like that, it's not okay for somebody to control your life. Marriage is not meant for that. No one should control you. If you involve somebody that's starting to control you, it's time for you to control yourself out of that.
Yep.
Leave.
Yep.
Leave for your safety.
And
because if they start to control, it's going to lead up to something worse.
Yeah.
And yes, I believe people can change. I have no problem with that. But I'm not the type of person. Hello, how you doing? I'm not the type of person that I would say stay somewhere. I'm not like that. Like you hear some pastors say, even they can be married to an abuser. You hear some pastor that would say, you know, you should stay in that marriage and work that marriage out. Okay, but he been beating me for 20 years. I supposed to stay in there, take another 20? What if he killed me? And then as soon as that man killed her, then the pastor, his first thing said, I'm praying for the family. I'm sorry for that. Instead of saying, you know what? I see that this man is abusing you. It's time to get out of there.
Right. How can I help you?
How can I help you? And one of the things that I always challenge a lot of pastors, this is what I say. If you tell her to stay in that marriage, would you tell your daughter to stay in that marriage?
Yep, that's the right question I have.
Hello, Wincy. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Judy.
That's the question that'll like catch them off guard. Because, you know, most of them, they'll like tend to answer mighty quick, but then they'll be like, oh, well, dang. Hold on, you gotta go back to it. Another reason people don't talk to others are because when they do open up to someone and then to talk about them,
hello,
the
Angela.
person still feeling the same way, but now trying to help the other person. Hold on. Let me go back to it. Still feeling the same way, but now trying to help the other person out. Yeah. Stuff like that happens.
Hello, Judy.
all the time.
Yes, all the time. So I always challenge pastors like that. You know, if you pastor on here right now listening, you can jump on right now. I say the same thing to you right now.
That's a discussion.
Would you dare tell your own precious little baby girl to stay in an abusive marriage when you telling everybody else to stay in, but you won't tell her to stay in it? I guarantee you that.
And if you're doing that, you're pretty much a hypocrite.
I guarantee you that. Yes, I do understand about having counseling and talking and blase. But as far as telling them to stay, I would not advise no woman to stay. Exactly. Y'all can say what you want to.
And like, a lot of people feel like, you know, because even when I talk to like some of my friends and stuff like that, and I tell them like, even though they vent to me, you know, if it's not enough, because I can only give you so much, you know, advice and stuff like that, then the other option I would say, like, you know, outside of praying and talking to someone, I would tell them you may need to seek, you know, therapy or something like that. And, you know, some people feel like, oh, if I go to therapy, then, you know, I must be crazy or going through something. Or no, like, there's nothing wrong with going to therapy. Like, if you need it, you need it. This is for, like I said last week, this is, you know, like self-love. Like, you need to get that out so, you know, your life can end up being better. And you can just move on with your life and, you know, continue to just live how you want to live and not be stressed and not be depressed and stuff like that. So
if this man is beating this woman, how is she okay? I wait on the answer with that one. How is she okay? And so in some cases, sometimes the woman is beating the man. Some cases.
Yeah.
But you hear more cases of women being abused than you do men. Because a lot of times men don't say nothing because they're afraid that other men going to pick at them because a woman beating them. Well, there's some men that don't beat women.
Yeah. And like I always say, like, it should never get to the point where y'all are abusing each other or whatever the case may be. Like, no type of physical violence should be involved whatsoever.
None.
And you got there's some women that do this. They take advantage of the simple fact of, like, you know, that they are a woman. So they take advantage of, like, okay, hit me or, like, whatever the case may be, knowing that they can easily, you know, call the police and get, you know, that man arrested. And, you know, some abuse that could they just continuously just, you know, hitting the man or whatever. And like I said, it's never okay for a man or a woman to do that. But you just have to, you know, watch out for stuff like that. But Keisha said some people feel it's a sign of weakness, failure when they vent about personal situations. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not a sign of weakness. It just shows that you're human. That's all it is. Like, we're human. And, you know, you got some people that just think that they're perfect or whatever. And it's like, no, bro, you go through stuff just as much as I do. So it's like, what's the difference? You hear me out, I hear you out. We give each other advice and then we go on with our lives and stuff like that.
That's right. Hello, Jeffrey and Sandra.
But
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know, like, it's just some people just feel like you weak if you know, show your emotions, or if you just, you know, just vent to someone. It's like, you're not weak at all. You're a strong person. And I say that for the simple fact of, you know, rest in peace to the people that, you know, lost their lives and stuff like that. But you're still here and you're going through what you're going through, even though you're going to make it, you know, at the end of the day. But it's just like, you came this far. So it's like, you're not weak at all.
That's true. Hello, Ivor.
And like, even the people that did lose their lives, you know, once again, rest in peace to them. They're not weak. It's just they probably didn't have nobody. They didn't know who to turn to. So don't get that confused and be like, oh, well, he's saying that, you know, they're weak. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because they're strong as well.
If you feel like you can help someone, you feel free to jump on. Feel free to jump on.
Right.
You know, you can share your story you want to. It's all about helping right now. Therapy is one of the best things that happened to me after everything last year. Y'all see how recent that is? Last
year. We got to get you on the next one.
Yes.
We got to get you on.
Y'all see that? Last year.
And it helped. So it's just like, don't Don't be afraid.
Oh, let me drop this one in here to you. It ain't just ordinary people that are abusing women. You got some pastors that abuse women.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Sometimes when it's all said and done in the church and it comes out, guess what they do? They still don't set his butt down. I won't say something else, but I'm going to let that slide right now. They still won't set his butt down nowhere. They still won't say, look, we're going to set you down for 2 years until you get some help. You know why they won't set him down? Because he's a popular preacher sometime and he helped raise money in the church.
Yep.
So they won't set him down. But you want to set me down if I was one, or just an ordinary person. You want to talk about me, but you won't check the brother that's sitting up in the pulpit with you. You need to check him too. Or check her too. But most time it's men.
You ain't lying, though. You are not lying.
Like I said, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't. Because they're not okay. You can tell, because when that woman come to church with her husband, that is, as they call it, the first lady, you can tell. Look at her facial expression. Look at her. If she have a little makeup on, then she come to church, and it's more than what she used to have, it's something going on.
Yeah.
It's something going on. She's not okay.
Yep. And, just like with children as well, pay attention because, some kids, like nowadays, they're like going through bullying and stuff like that. And, some of them actually do be getting beat, if not by another student, by a teacher or some type of, parent or whoever. And it's just like, pay attention to that, especially if you notice a change in, their demeanor and their attitude and things that they normally wouldn't do. Because, some kids try to hide it for the simple fact of what, that person might have told them. Like, oh, if you tell, this person or whatever, something's going to happen to you. And it's a scary situation. It's a very scary situation.
Yes, it is. This is what causes thoughts. Y'all hear that?
Right.
Y'all hear that? Thoughts.
And it does. It does cause, thoughts.
How you doing, Yvelle?
It's a lot of people that go through that. And, I have friends or family that, from them not being okay and them not wanting to talk, have told me they had, thoughts like that. And it's sad, to see them go through that because it's like, you just want to help. That's all you want to do is just help them the best way you can. And I'd be quick to tell a person, like, if I don't know what it is you're going through or if I cannot help you, I would tell you straight up because I'm not trying to lead you in the wrong direction or whatever the case may be. And it's like some people, they got their pride and their ego and they just feel like they know everything. And it's like, if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'll tell you straight up, I don't know. But if I can help you, I will. Just let me try to help you. Let me figure out what it is that's, going on with you. Obviously if you're comfortable enough to open up and talk to me about it, then we can get to the, pinpoint what's really wrong.
Yes. And I'm gonna read something. I'm gonna read something to y'all. Since Marlo brought that up about suicidal thoughts. Check this out. The 12th leading cause of death in the United States. This is 2020 right here. 45,979 Americans died by suicide. That's in 2020. That was 2020. That ain't 2 years ago.
Now
2 years ago.
Imagine what it is now, though.
It could be more than that now. It could be. Even he has a topic of that coming up too. Yeah. About that too. And we understand these topics right here, they're not popular. They're not. They're not popular. You don't hear too many people talking about this. Hello, Miss Clark. You don't hear too many talking about this. It's not popular. But guess what it's doing? It's going on in people's houses.
It's happening every day.
It's going on in people in the churches. It's happening every day. Every day.
Even the rappers that y'all love and stuff like that, it happens to them.
As we sitting on here right now, is going on right now.
Yeah. It's happening. Like, whether whether you like it or not, or you want to believe it or not, it's happening. Every day, every second, every minute, it is happening to someone. And like I said, even with, rappers and stuff like that, they even express that they're not okay through their music. Tupac did it, Biggie did it.
Yes.
Like, and a lot of us don't pay attention to that until, they're gone. Then you start paying attention to what they were saying and stuff like that, and it's like they was crying out for help, but nobody will listen to them or whatever the case may be. And it's just like we have to just look out for one another and be that that listening ear for them, because that could actually be therapeutic and actually help that person.
That's right.
You never know. You could just save someone life. And when you do it, don't do it to get credit out of it. Like, do it out the kindness of your heart and for the simple fact that you just want to see this person do better and you just want to get them help. That's all.
Yeah. And my son's right, because if I listen to Tupac music sometimes, I listen to Biggie music sometimes. I listen for certain things when I listen to him. Tupac had a song called Shed So Many Tears. He was crying out. He was crying out.
Yeah.
Biggie had a song out. He was crying out. These rappers and these R&B singers, sometimes they will make a song that be crying out for help. But as the world look at it, they look at it differently. They don't pay attention to that. You got a lot of big leaders, pastors, stuff. They don't pay attention to that right there, unless you pour money into their congregation, to their ministry. And that's the sad part about it. But yeah, they was crying out. They both were crying out. I listened to an interview one time with Biggie and Tupac, and Tupac said it himself. He said, "This thing is way bigger than me and Biggie."
Yep.
He said it was bigger than me and Biggie. The world took it and ran with it.
Yep.
Because of the East Coast and West Coast, because of people. And they ran with it.
And all they was trying to do was put that aside and be like, bro, y'all got to look deeper than, the East Coast, West Coast thing and all that. And it's like, we're humans at the end of the day. Put all that aside, at the end of the day, we're human. Like, we go through stuff. And a lot of people get confused, with, famous people. People forget that they are humans too. Like, they're not gods.
Hey, Gladys. Yeah.
And people treat, some famous people like they're gods. And it's like, even though I'm not, fully up there yet, but it's just like, I've had that happen one time before. And it felt so uncomfortable, because it's like, man, I'm not a god. At the end of the day, I am human and I go through stuff. I'm not perfect. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just a weird feeling.
Here's the thing. Yvelma say it's real, but it's being overlooked, and people are not taking it seriously, because it's not one of their loved one. That is true.
Yeah.
It is true. As I always say, like my bracelet say, it doesn't matter to you until it affects you.
Yeah. Hold on. You said it's not popular because people are too afraid to talk about it. But that's where the problem lies, because that's why you're supposed to talk about it. Wait a minute. Go back to it.
And bring awareness to it. I got it here too. The more you talk about it, the more comfortable you will get talking about it. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
She also said people didn't listen. Now they put Biggie and Tupac on a bunch of these T-shirts. Shaking my head. Right.
That's right.
These parents need to listen to their children, even if they don't like their lifestyle. Don't judge them, just listen. Right, because that goes back onto, last week's, podcast, when we were saying that people act the way they act for a specific reason. And we may not know what happened in their lives. And it's just like, even with children, something happened to them as to why they're acting the way they act and the lifestyle they live. And you have to ask, listen, but also ask them questions. Why you act this way? What happened to you? Because that's what most people just be looking for, is someone to listen to them.
I'm gonna give you a real life story. I know this lady. She was the first lady, and out of the blue, she inboxed me. This a few years back, probably about 6-7 years ago. She inboxed me, and she was talking about her husband, who was a bishop. A bishop, y'all, a bishop. How he was abusing her, and the church didn't believe her. Even when they went to court, she had pictures and everything. The church still didn't believe her. And so he inboxed me one day and said, you know, he was reading my post. He said, like my post. He said, but we need to talk. And you know what it is. I said, yeah, I know what it is. He wanted to meet. I said, I'll meet you on one condition. Because I'll meet you. You bring somebody with you, I'm going to bring somebody with me. Because I don't know what you're going to do.
Right.
I don't know what you're going to do. And I ain't heard from him since then. But the church did not believe her with the pictures. How can the church don't believe her, but the court did?
Right, and you have hard evidence. So that
What's
makes
up,
you
Nakeem?
think. What's up, Nakeem? But yeah, it makes you wonder and it makes you think, like, what be going on behind closed doors with some of these people, like, for the whole church. And that goes back to, like, make you think, what has he been saying about her, whatever the case may be, which, you know, that goes right back to that plays a factor on her not being okay. Because she feels like she's not being heard and she's not being believed and stuff like that. Even her having proof, still though.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm apologizing again because I had technical difficulties on my live on my page. So, but I said this in the beginning on there. Don't get it twisted. Strong and being okay is two different things.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yep.
You can be strong about everything that's going on, but you're not okay.
Because even with me, and y'all can use me for an example, I deal with sickle cell. I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I always will talk about it to the end of time. But I am a very strong person, but there's times where I am not okay. And he will know because I tell him that I'm not okay, or I just, like, he'll notice. And it's like, he, you know, me being his son, he can feel when I'm not okay and stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, those are two different things, and people get confused. And we always got to have, like, we think we got to have this persona, like, oh, I always got to be strong. No, you don't. It's okay to be vulnerable, but you just have to watch who you be vulnerable around, though. Because like I said before, some people take advantage of that. Some people hold that over your head, and some people just run with that and do whatever they're going to do with that information. And it's sad, but it's the truth, though.
Yes, it's true. And here's another thing. In a marriage, how in the world is that you don't make that woman happy, or you don't make that man happy, but you're not?
Yeah.
How?
Then that goes back to, are you okay?
How? That man giving that woman everything she wants. She happy, but he's not. That woman giving that man everything he wants. He's happy, but she's not. She just okay.
And it's like, do you really sit down and have those conversations and just be like, are you okay? And you know, some people, when you ask them that, they be like, yeah, I'm alright, whatever. And it's like, no, like, are you really okay? Like, and when I ask people, are they okay? I don't just start off with just that. I'll be like, are you okay? Mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever, spiritually, whatever. Because it's like, it's something. Now, I'm not saying everybody, you know, there's always going to be something wrong with a person, because, you know, there's people that just be having good days or whatever. But out of all of those, it's going to be at least one or two things that's wrong with you, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually. There's something that's going to be wrong. That can be with anybody. Anybody.
People always forget that everyone has their limits as well. Someone genuinely could be very strong and be okay for a while, but there's only so much one can take, whether it be mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually.
Marlo said it's not a happy marriage.
It's not a happy marriage.
Yeah. And if it's not, that's something that y'all have to discuss.
Yes. And everyone do have their limits. They have their limits.
Don't get that confused.
They have their limits.
Everybody has, you know, that boiling point. When you push them far enough, they start doing things that you never imagined that they could do or would do. and you never want that to happen.
One thing about people, I look at the peer pressure that we had growing up versus like now my son age, and even after him, looking at some of the kids now, it's a lot of peer pressure now. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. My brother taught me a long time ago when I was probably about 13, 14. You got to learn how to don't even pay people attention.
Yeah. And,
because they're going to say stuff. They're going to do stuff. If they talk, let them talk.
Regardless.
Once you start feeding into it, that's how it keeps going. Don't feed into it.
And it's slowly killing you.
Yeah. Everything does not require a reaction. Just because, let's say Brandon was talking about me. Just because he talking about me, don't mean I got to react to what he said. Oh, man, you talk about my mama, so.
And like I tell people all the time, like, is it true? Like, depending on whatever you talk about, even if it is the truth, if it's your past, let it go.
And here's here's the thing. Here's a saying that I know y'all, too many of y'all don't know about this, especially y'all younger people that's on the live. Y'all know about this. If you throw a rock in a pack of dogs, the one that hollers the one that got hit. Mm-hmm. That means if you start running your mouth hollering, you got hit.
Yep.
That means it must be true. You don't respond to something that's a lie.
Right. And I've had situations where, the things that I post on my social media, I just be, spitting facts or whatever the case may be, or it just be a general post. It don't really be directed towards anybody. If I, if I want to be direct, I'll just like tag you in or whatever the case may be, but I just be speaking facts. And every time I do post something, there's always that one person that ends up saying something to me and they be mad, and it's just like, it wasn't about you. But since we're on the topic now, is it true what I was saying? Because you wouldn't have gotten your feelings, and you wouldn't have felt, the way you felt, or whatever the case may be, unless it was true. And some people, how they say, people who do wrong, everything you post, they assume it's about them.
And it's not. It's not. It's not. Just because you see a certain post, even if it do affect you, even though it could be about you, you ain't got to respond to that. Now you just jumped into something that you had no business seeing. Now you just open up to the world. That was you.
And now you got a whole attitude and you pissed off because of that. When you could have just ignored it and moved on. But
what is Facebook? You ain't nothing but a social media page. That's all it is.
That's the thing.
That connect people across this world. That's all it is.
People egos be getting in the way, and they pride, and they feel like, oh, I gotta say something. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't have to feed into it.
You don't have to do none of that. But what people do, you see some of the most fights on social media. For what? For what?
When one reaches the limit and nothing else, let it go before it get beyond the limit. That's the one. Let it go. Let it go before it, it gets blown out of proportion.
Hey, Mr. Barry. Hey, Gwen.
But a question I have for y'all, and including you, is like, what's some things you do, like when you're not okay? Like, what's some things that you do? If you need me to give you like an example and stuff like that, like,
okay, so a whole bunch of stuff.
So like for me, when I'm not okay, like I don't know, like I zone out and I just start doing some other stuff. That could possibly be me just being on the game for like hours and just not really talking to anybody and stuff like that. And also like I tend to write down how I'm feeling and stuff like that. Or I just be having like an attitude, and I may end up just not really wanting to talk to anybody for the simple fact, like, I don't know, it's a lot that I do when I'm not okay though. But mainly it's like I distance off from everybody, and I don't really like socialize as much as I should. And sometimes I'll like close myself off from people and kind of push people away. I don't do that like that anymore because, you know, I'm growing from it and trying to do better for myself and stuff like that. But yeah.
I would distance myself sometimes from people and I just get to myself, and when things not going right, I shut everybody out, and I just be right here in the middle. But see, that's a good important thing about having good people in your life, good friends in your life, and all that kind of stuff. It's important. It's important to have some good people that you can talk to. It's important. That's very important.
Now here's a question.
Yeah, I have time to myself too.
Yeah, you got to make time for yourself. You always got to do that. But here's another question. So the question that I really want y'all to, like, you know, give y'all input on this and stuff. Do you talk to someone, or do you just try to deal with it by yourself?
A lot of people a lot of people try to deal with it by themselves.
Like, really think about that before you answer. Like, do you genuinely talk to people, or do you just try to deal with it by yourself and just be like, oh, I got it?
And let me add to that question. If you do talk to someone, are they the type of person that's going to give it to you straight?
Yeah. Or if they just going to tell you, you know, what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear. When I'm not okay, I try to do something that will help out others. At the same time, it's not healthy, so now I address the elephant that's in me. That's all it takes.
That's all.
I didn't see you standing over there. I swear I didn't see you standing over there.
But they need to think about it before they do it.
Yeah. You got something you want to say? You got something you want to say?
Oh no, I ain't talking to me. I sound like a kid. But I will shoot it to you straight though.
Yeah, we know you will shoot it.
See? You always gotta have someone that just tell you straight up though. Like, won't sugarcoat anything and it just...
Y'all sugarcoat stuff, Brandon?
Nah, you don't. I can say that. I can say that commonly. You don't sugarcoat.
No, that's my kind of talk.
Yeah, that's my aunt. No. And it's like, even with her, she, you know, family or not, she is not gonna sugarcoat anything. So y'all just have to be open-minded when it comes to that as well.
And if y'all don't have no friends like that, I feel for you. Everything is not no lottie-dottie.
Right.
Oh, we over here in the fairy tale land. Everything's not that.
And a lot of people like to stay in that mentality, like they think that everything's just supposed to be perfect or, you know, a fairy tale or whatever. And it's like, you got to get out of that state of mind because you playing a dangerous game with that. It's like you basically just, how can I say this? Like, you're not trying to face reality, like, whatsoever. It's almost like you're just trying to stay in a dream world and just hoping that everything would just be perfect to your benefits or whatever. I first deal with it by myself. Hold on,
comments.
Depending on who calls me during the moment, most likely my oldest daughter or my best friend. Marlo said I try to handle it and I talk to people and I don't want no sugarcoating because my problem isn't sugar. That much is true though. That much is true. You know, it's a lot of topics or things that people go through and it's like not everything should be taken lightly.
No, not everything.
You know, once the situation get handled, then, you know, y'all can like make jokes about it or whatever, you know, depending on y'all level of friendship. But
it's just like taking medicine. It's like taking medicine. You take the sweet medicine, it might take 3 days before it even start to kick in. You take the nasty medicine, it might kick in an hour or two later. or later on that evening, or maybe the next day. It's just like that. You continue to listen to people that sugarcoat stuff and want to be nice and all that kind of stuff with it and don't want to hurt your feelings, then you're not going to get nothing. You're not going to be well. You're not. You're not. It's just going to pack on other stuff. Just pack it on. That's all it's going to do. It's going to pack it on.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get nowhere.
And, like, even when I do, you know, motivational speakings or, like, you know, whenever I have one-on-one conversations with people and stuff like that, you know, I'll be having to, like, remind myself, because, you know, I'm a nice person and stuff like that, but I'll be having to remind myself, like, I'm doing this to help you, so I'm not finna sugarcoat it. Even though, you know, there's times where it'll pop in my head, you know, I'm not trying to hurt this person's feelings, and, you know, I'm a nice person, so I'm really not trying to hurt your feelings, but at the same time, the truth hurts. So it's like, you need to hear this. It might not be what you want, but you need to hear it. So then that's when I kick back into that mode of, okay, I'm finna tell you what it is you need to hear, and I'm not finna sugarcoat it. So, you know, stuff like that take time.
Yes. So get some good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Get some good friends that'll listen to you, but at the same time correct you, and at the same time ain't gonna play with you. At the same time, they're gonna say stuff to try to help heal you, even though it hurts. A lot of times, that's the problem. We don't like to be hurt.
Yeah.
Especially with truth. Truth hurts.
Where you like
the truth hurts, whether you like it or not. It hurts.
Mm-hmm. Then it's like you have to ask yourself, like, whenever you do certain things, and you know, you think about the consequences and stuff like that, you have to ask yourself, am I going to be okay once whatever happens? You really got to ask yourself that. Because a lot of people be like, yeah, I'm going to be fine or whatever. And then the situation happened, and next thing you know, they're not okay.
They're not. One thing about my mama never sugarcoated nothing. Never. My brother, before my brother passed away, and my sister, before she passed away, they didn't sugarcoat nothing. One time my brother told me, he said, I'm going to tell you this truth, whether it hurt your feelings and whether you like it or not. And he said, you ain't got to speak to me no more. Ever.
Yeah.
How many of y'all can do that?
Right.
You want to be that truthful that you still going to play with it and give them the soft side of it, because you don't want to be to the point where, well, they won't speak to me no more if I tell them the truth. So
yeah, like you have to surround yourself with people like that, because there's some real friends or, you know, family members that you have to keep around. And like, even with me, I have friends to this day, and, you know, they know that I don't drink or smoke and stuff like that. You know, every now and then I like joke around with them just to be funny and play around, but, you know, I ask them a question like, you know, let's say we went out or whatever, and, you know, I was drinking, or if I was just doing dumb stuff that they knew I wouldn't do. And majority of them, and they'll tell you this right now if I had them on here, they'll tell you straight up, they all tell me, Brandon, if you start slacking off and doing dumb stuff that you normally don't do, or if you start drinking, I'm going to fight you. Like, I've had them tell me that. Like, they'll just be straight up and be like, I'm going to fight you. Because they know that that's not who I am, and I'm not that type of person. And stuff like that. So it's just like, you just got to keep people who will be real with you.
that's right.
And I've had some that told me straight up, like, if you was to go down that wrong path, even though they would try to help me the best way they could, but they told me straight up, there ain't no point in me associating myself with you anymore, because it's like you not taking heed of what I'm saying, and you just going down this path, and it's like I'm trying to help you, but you not listening. And then, you know, some people think that they always gonna have that family member or, you know, that significant other or friend, like that person gonna always be around until they're not available to you anymore. Then who you turn to? And now you stuck, and it's like you blaming everyone but yourself, because you looking at it like, well, ain't nobody trying to help me and this and that and third. You had people trying to help you. You just wasn't paying attention or like realizing that they was trying to help you, and you thought they was going to be there forever and put up with whatever it is that you was doing. Like, that goes back to people have limits.
Yeah. The way I see it, if they don't talk to me anymore, they do me a favor because they were not meant to be around in the first place. All I need is one. She keeps it real with me. She laughs with me, and as she cry with me. A true friend should be able to tell you the truth, and you'll still be friend. That is true.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That is true, and that's the people I have in my life right now. Even pastors, I got certain pastors in my life that don't play.
And I met, some of his friends and stuff like that, and they be getting on me and telling me, just the truth and what I need to hear. So it's like, even though I'm his son and stuff like that, and they're his friends, they just looking out for me as well. And you need that.
Yes.
No matter what age, like, you need that. Obviously, if it's a kid, there's limits and ways to approach different situations depending on who you talking to. Because, you got some people who are, like, sensitive and stuff like that. Like, you can give them the truth, you just have to approach it different. Because, you got some people that approach situations, like, aggressively and stuff like that, or however they approach it.
Yep.
Keisha said, all I need is one.
That's one of it.
Oh, that's the one you read?
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking at a different one. My fault, y'all. But,
why ask for help if you're not going to be accepted to use the help? That's true. That's true. Why ask for it? Why ask for it?
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That.
It's all about that tone.
Yeah. And a lot of miscommunications be happening because of the tone. And people don't realize that. Because, like, even, a heated situation can be resolved. It's all about the tone.
That's right.
It's all about the tone. Like, if, let's say right now, someone was arguing or whatever, and they, like, loud, and I'm just sitting here, having a normal conversation. I'm just like, yo, man, I apologize, or whatever the case may be. And then, they start to amp down because it's like the tone and, I'm coming at you with respect or whatever, and I'm hearing you out and hearing whatever it is you got to say. And, you let me talk, even if you are cutting me off or whatever, if I still get that point across and I see that you amp down, it's all about the tone. And, I listened, I heard whatever it is you needed to say. Even if it wasn't anything at all, you still want it to be heard. Now, some situations, depending on what it is, walk away from it, depending on what it is. But another question that, I had was, what's some feelings or thoughts you have when you're not okay?
I just feel bad.
Like, I want y'all to answer this too.
Yeah, I don't. I just feel bad. I don't feel right. I don't be want to do nothing. And it's very seldom that you'll catch me like that. But that's just me. When I'm like that, I'm like that.
Yeah.
And most of the time when I get like that, I hurry up and do my best to bounce back. Because the longer you stay there, the worse it gets. So me trying to be here, if I stay here, I never get here. I stay there, I go further and further away from being here. So I try to stay here. And I have friends that keep me here. Especially they know if I'm going through something, I'm dealing with something. I have a couple of friends that'll call me daily and ask me, you okay? You all right? You need to talk.
I'm going to read the comments in a minute. But for me, like, feelings that I be having, it's like, you be stressed out. It's almost like a depressing feeling. Like, you be stressed out or depressed, or you just be, like, not in a good mood whatsoever. And thoughts that, like, pop into my head would be, like, even though we don't try to think about, have, like, negative thoughts and stuff like that, but you start thinking negative and you start to be, like, questioning yourself. And for me, it's like, if I'm not okay, I start asking myself and questioning myself and be like, dang, well, a crisis might start happening or something like that. Even though I've been working on that a lot, and I don't, do it for the simple fact I like to speak positivity into my life, and you have to be careful what you say because you can speak that to existence and it could actually happen to you. But other thoughts would be like, well, I'm not gonna get out of bed. I'm gonna just stay, laying down. Then next thing you know, that can go on for like 2 or 3 days or whatever, and you just, you have to get yourself out of that. I mean, obviously, there's people that can help you, if you actually talk and open up to them. But it always goes back to yourself as well. If you want to get out of that situation, you're gonna have to do something about it. Basically, take action.
And before you read that, and that's true. And you gotta pick your friends wisely. You gotta pick them wisely. You gotta have a friend that won't. If they tell you something, you won't go out and say something to somebody else or tell somebody something like that. I know a lot of stuff. I got some friends that told me some deep dark secrets, and not one of them will tell you they ever heard it. Ever heard it. Once you tell me, it's with me. And some I don't forget too. If we talk about it, it comes back. But not one can tell you I told their deep darkest secret. Not one. And that include a couple of pastors that I know.
It goes back to trusting that person with the information you give them. But one of these comments, she said, when people are raising their voice, they're expecting you to raise yours too because they know they got you at that point. Then Keisha said, carry humbleness in your heart and there will be humbleness in your voice.
Yeah.
That much is true. That much is true.
Hey, now here's the thing that I'm getting ready to be straight up with you. Because I'll say a few couple of lines like, so you mean to tell me? Or I'll be like, let me say this. See, I'm getting ready to be straightforward with you then.
And I've heard that a couple of times.
I'm going to say this to you. And I got this one from a friend I'm starting to pick up now. I need to explain this to you. I need to say this.
Yeah. And like I said before, I've heard those exact things said to me from him because he don't sugarcoat anything when it comes to anybody. But, especially me and my sisters, he don't sugarcoat anything.
If my mama right now, his grandmother, if she would have jumped on this live right now, because she's here.
Yeah, she's
here. If she would have jumped on this live right now, she would let you know. She would tell you, no, I didn't play with her. I didn't play with them. I don't play with them. I didn't play with my children. I gave them the straight, honest God truth.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like to hear that. They get mad
and told me if I didn't like it, get out.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like to take information like that. They rather react than actually just pay attention and listening.
When I'm not okay, I am to myself in bed. Don't want to be bothered, even cry. But I pray, talk to my Father God and my deceased mother, and I bounce back. She got it out. That's why a lot of us are stressed and depressed. We got all this stuff in here. It's built up inside.
And it's like all you want to do is just, release that and stuff like that. Whether that be like, venting to someone, writing it down, praying. Like, it's so many ways to like go about that. And people don't realize it.
They don't. They just, I don't know.
When you're not okay, write it down. Or like, whatever your coping mechanism is, do it. Like, you don't always gotta be talking to someone. Even though, recommend that. Like, I highly do recommend talking to someone or like a therapist or whatever the case may be. But, outside of that, like at home, do whatever it is that helps you. Got to speak the truth because the streets full of.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because talked a little bit about that this morning at church about the street. They will tell you that they love you. The gang members will tell you that they love you, but cross one of them.
Yep.
They will kill you just like they kill anybody else. They will beat you down just like they will beat anybody else down.
It don't matter how long y'all know each other.
Don't even matter.
And
It doesn't even matter.
I've seen interviews where, you know, they say they was friends with a person for like 20-some years. And as soon as, you know, they got crossed or whatever the case may be, all that went out the window. Didn't even care. Just killed them on the spot.
And see, when she said it, she got little lines after that. See,
Yeah,
I know what that is.
Yeah, we already
know what that is.
We know what that is.
But the streets don't care.
Yeah,
The streets don't care nothing about you. Not nothing.
And then you gotta ask yourself, do they really care about your mental health and stuff like that?
And then like women. Women have to be careful of us, men. Mm-hmm. We're predators by nature. We hunt.
Yeah.
We hunt. So the woman have to be careful. Don't go into a relationship or even if y'all just talking in the beginning, don't go in and giving them everything. Don't give them everything, because what men will do, we will take that and use it.
And y'all hearing this from us. So that just goes to show, and that says a lot by itself. So you just have to, you know, really be on the lookout when it comes to stuff like that. And, you know, when it comes to, you know, the streets and stuff like that, do they even, like, ask you, are you okay? Are they actually listening to what you have to say and stuff like that? Are you being heard in general? Is the better question. Like,
yes.
Are you being heard in general?
Yes.
No, they would. Wait, what they saying? No, they would take and lose respect. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And some of them view it as, you know, you got to be this tough guy 24/7. They feel like if you are vulnerable, you're weak, or whatever the case may be. It's some, you know, gang members and stuff like that think like that they got to be, you know, this tough guy. And if you even catch them being vulnerable, they'll be quick to, like, cuss you out, or some will even kill you if you even speak about them being vulnerable to, you know, you or whoever they was vulnerable to. So it's just like, I don't know. It's a crazy thing to witness and hear and see that.
Marlo, these are not no popular topics, but it's some good topics, because we need to talk about this stuff. We need to talk about this stuff. You know, he got some people lined up coming up, and I got some people lined up coming up, and I ain't gonna be the only one on here talking. He won't neither, but it's his show. I'm just sitting here chilling.
Like I said, you know, I'm trying to get people on here so it won't just be me, me and my dad always on here talking and stuff like that. We want to get people involved. We want to get people to be heard and share their stories and stuff like that. And even if we have to go back to like an old topic, that is fine, because, you know, this stuff needs to be heard. And, you know, it just needs to get out, because, you know, most of these, you know, popular podcasts and stuff like that, they don't really be talking much about this stuff at all. And it'd be the simplest things. Like, they talk about, you know, the hip-hop culture and all this other stuff, which that's okay and that's fine. I'm not bashing them for that. That is fine. But, you know, you got people like me and others that, you know, talk about these same topics, and it's like, a lot of people don't be wanting to pay attention to it just because, you know, it's not popular, or it's a sensitive topic, or, you know, it's not hype enough for them, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, not everything's supposed to be popular or hype. Mm-mm. Like, it's just not. Like, sometimes you just need to sit down and just take it straight up. Like, just take straight up whatever it is that's being said. So
we're gonna talk. He got some topics, and we're gonna talk about domestic violence within the young folks. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about racism. A lady already contacted him about the generation of curses.
Yeah, it's another one she wanted to be a part of too. But
yeah,
I'm telling y'all, we got some stuff lined up.
It don't have to be popular.
hip hop culture isn't even important like that. These are way more important. Thank you for that.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for that. This is what needs to be taught.
And I'm glad you said that, because at first my son was gonna do this today. He said, "Well, there's a lot of important football games." I said, "Look, son, what God done gave you, it don't matter what's on TV. Everybody's not watching the game.
Yeah.
Some people need some help. They need this."
Yeah. And when he told me that, I was like, you're right. And then it made me think about, a couple of YouTubers that, that I watch and stuff like that. And even when they post on like a Sunday or whatever the case may be, it made me think like, dang, these people, it's people that need stuff like this. So when
And we're not the best at it.
Yeah, we ain't the best at it.
But we can talk.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like, we learning and, we growing with y'all. And, the more, this channel and stuff grows and stuff like that, it's just going to get better and better. Like,
if I want this channel, if I want his channel to jump off, I want this live to really jump, all I got to do is talk about a bunch of blackness, sex, run around,
so it's like,
doing this right here, do a bunch of drama, do a bunch of gossip,
like,
and it'll be 400 friends in the live right now.
Yeah, because like it's easy to like do stuff like that because it's a bunch of crazy stuff or whatever like topics I can talk about that it easily have the lives jumping to where it'd be like 400 to probably 1,000 or more people on here. But it's like that's not something I want to do. Plus, I love being different. I love talking about things that normally people wouldn't talk about or they're too afraid to talk about. Plus, I try to be, that voice for that person and stuff like
Miss
that.
Mary and Miss Demetrius and Janice and Sharon. Thank y'all, all of y'all for joining in.
I hurry up and got out my church clothes to listen to this man on the live.
We thank you for that.
Right. She said females acting a fool, all that like irrelevant isn't even necessary.
Y'all think it's something serious now. Just wait.
Just wait. Just wait.
Wait, you ain't seen nothing in this world yet. Just wait.
Right.
Live long enough. You're gonna see this world for a flip.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people that's not okay. But it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah, it's okay to not be okay.
That's how you build, as the Bible says, iron sharpen iron. We come and talk to build.
And that's how you mold into a better version of yourself. By realizing that I'm not okay, so I need to do something about this. I need to talk to someone. I need to get out of this mental state. Like, don't think that, it's a problem that I'm not okay, because it's all right to not be okay.
Yeah.
Like, we all go through it, so don't think that
Oh,
I
Lord.
gotta be okay, I gotta be good or fine 24/7. No, you don't.
No, you don't. I'm not fine 24/7.
As long as you acknowledge it and you actually do something about it, then you good. But if you're not doing anything about it at all and you just want to mope around, then that's an issue. That's when it becomes an issue. Because it's like you're not trying to take action for yourself and you're not trying to do better for yourself to get out of that mental state of, I'm not okay. So you just dwelling on it and you just basically pretty much gave up and accepted the fact that I'm not okay, so I'm just going to stay this way. And that's not a good mentality to have.
Yep.
Because when you start speaking into existence, saying, I am going to be okay, I am going to get out of this situation. And like I always post on, when I do my posts and stuff like that, we all go through something and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the sun will shine on us all once again. It don't matter what you're going through.
That's right.
The sun will shine on us all once again. But we finna get off this, because your boy getting kind of hungry. I ain't even gonna lie to you, I'm getting a little hungry. But,
Before we sign off, encourage your friends to come next time.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better. We had a little technical difficulty today. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna ask my son to share his live on my page, because I know most of y'all missed the first 45 minutes of it, 15, 20 minutes of it, I think. And we apologize for that, but as the old folk always said, the devil always tries to show up when you're trying to talk about something seriously.
Exactly, because, we was having technical difficulties and, For some reason, Facebook acting kind of funny, but
acting funny. And
this,
trust
this
me,
ain't stopping you, boy.
we've been trying to set up since about 3:30.
Right, since 3. The live don't start till 4:30. Y'all know I do this on Sundays at 4:30. So that's how long we was trying to like get this stuff figured out. But you know, like you said, the devil tried to stop us from doing this. And
so invite your
clearly
friends
he
and
didn't. Tell a friend. Tell a
tell
friend.
a family
tell
member.
a friend.
You know,
Tell a family.
And we trying to get different things so we can have a countdown to when it's coming. Or if you like, we can send you a reminder to let you know. You know, I know he's at his limit on his Facebook. What is it, 5,000?
I'm technically almost there. I think I got like 9 spots left or whatever. I mean, y'all could follow me on there.
Follow him, you know, if you get a chance to slide in.
Right.
You know, or you can come to my page. My name's Carl McCoy. I have the sickle cell background as my profile picture.
Yeah, you know, also y'all could, message me and stuff like that. And also last week's, live, I am working on getting that to YouTube. Also this one as well. Just, that stuff takes some time to edit and, figure all this stuff out. But we gonna get better at doing this stuff.
And one of the reasons he's not on YouTube like this, like live, because everybody's not on YouTube.
Yeah, everybody don't be on YouTube like
Even
that.
because we can get on YouTube and have about 10 people on a panel at one time talking.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
Which I'm thinking about doing something like that. But, with YouTube, you just got to be a little careful because they try to, censor everything and stuff like that. So you just got to be careful with that. And, whenever I do upload it, I'll probably do it right after this. Put, my YouTube. And
you don't have to do this every Sunday because Keisha said you got to set for every Sunday.
Oh, you got to set for every Sunday? Yeah, I'm going to have to do it every Sunday. Hey, well, that just pushed me to want to do more. That just pushed me to want to do it even more because, you're looking forward to this every Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, it might be some Sundays where I'm going to take a break and take a day off and stuff like that. But, most likely I'm trying to do it every Sunday.
And if anyone has been in a domestic violence relationship, I got somebody coming for you.
Yeah. I told y'all
I got somebody coming.
We got some heat. We got some stuff coming. So, like we said before,
share it. I know she's a little busy right now, but I got somebody coming. Just like I got somebody coming. My big brother that I was texting last week. I got to get with him and find out a Sunday that he's available because he has this justice administration going on, and he also / stop killing us. That don't only mean any other race killing us or the police killing us. Us killing each other. Us killing each other. How the village gonna grow? It ain't gonna be no village if we all dead.
Right.
Or locked up. It ain't gonna be no village.
Keisha said do 2 Sundays out the month. You never know. Might do it every Sunday. I don't know. We gonna see. You never know. Just depending on, what I got going on, how I'm feeling and stuff like that. And oh boy, not Papa Smooth about to make me tear up with the domestic violence talk. I mean, we, like I said before, we try to touch subjects and, we try to reach out and, help people the best way we can and stuff like that. Like we said before, share it with your friends, family, that one cousin down the street, everybody, share it with everybody because, all we can do is grow, and this is going to continue to grow into something even better. And like I said, as far as the YouTube stuff, I will have these videos uploaded over there, but also I plan on doing, other content as well on YouTube. Obviously, I'm going to still do, content on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff and TikTok, but, there's going to be specific content that I'm going to save for YouTube or Facebook or whatever, because I do got to get back active on that. So dancing content that I will still do that on Facebook and Instagram, but there is going to be some videos that I will post on YouTube that won't be on here or Instagram. So it's you're going to have to go over there to YouTube, but don't think that, I'm just hopping off Facebook and just going to be doing, just the SmoothTalk podcast. Nah, I'm still gonna be dropping the heat for y'all. So don't get discouraged when it comes to that. I'm still gonna be doing that. But yeah, on that note, we finna head out. Cause my stomach over here just going.
Yeah.
But I love y'all, as always.
And thank you for last week chiming in with the views and everything. We had over 1,000 and something.
Yes,
views.
y'all went crazy with the views. So
we appreciate that.
Run the numbers up again.
Run them up. Share it with somebody.
Do it again. Let's see if we can do it 2 Sundays in a row. Let's go. But yeah, I love y'all. As always, be smooth with it. Stay focused. Stay positive. Yeah.
And we out.